Hello and welcome to Jason Fandom. We are back for episode 2, season 2 of Doctor Who.
All the twos to two.
Question mark?
Oh, is it over yet? Can we stop recording every week?
Yeah, here we go again.
It's not that I don't mind speaking to you every week, but it's also like, got to do all the other bits in the background. I love
speaking to you, but I just can't be asked to talk about this. So I think before we jump into last week, I was quite asleep, and it just sounded like Matt was depressed the episode because I thought Matt just went, I just had no energy to care about this TV show. And that made me really sad. And it took me a few days to kind of fully realise. Yeah. I'm just going, this is weird. I just don't.
It's exactly how I was during 13's run. Exactly the same. I was just like, not excited for it, but I'm watching it because I'm loyal to the brand.
Yeah. Yeah. Interestingly, talking of last week's show, I was chatting to my partner about it, and they mentioned that when they watched it, they quite enjoyed it, but also the things we didn't notice, they noticed straight away.
I think there was two bits that we didn't notice I was going to mention, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, the whole like I said, it would have been better if it actually, like the whole incel thing. I just said, I needed more to kind of make me aware of it, and they were saying, well, actually, in pretty much as soon as you started hearing things, they went, oh no, that's classic behaviour, and you go, is this a male divide thing? Is it just the fact that we are, for want of a better phrase, straight white men of an age? Who knows?
I don't know. I still think you needed more fleshing out to be that severe. I still think it needed that more grounding.
Who
interesting.
Knows?
The two bits one bit we missed and one bit we didn't was, you mentioned it and I corrected you, but you were right. Matt was right. Apparently, he never mentioned TARDIS to Belinda. She did, in fact, call it the TARDIS without him mentioning it. I thought he'd mentioned it earlier in the episode, but apparently lots of people pointed out he hadn't done that. So she knew what it was. And there were a couple of things I thought I picked up on, and I can't remember what they were, in tonight's episode, where she was mentioning things I don't think he'd actually said. So, and the other bit was... Sorry, go on.
Now, was that a case of it happened in the original script and got lost in the edit, or is that hinting on something else?
Yeah, it could be either or.
Yeah.
The bit that got most people annoyed actually last week, it wasn't the incels bit. It was something that we didn't really discuss. Was the fact that right at the end, in that weird thing when they touched certificates. And I hadn't realised, I didn't get it, that old Alan, had been regressed back into a sperm on the floor. And the robot hoovered him up. The Doctor laughed and was really happy that he died. And loads of people have said, that's not the Doctor. He shouldn't be laughing. He always, even the Daleks, even Davros, he always gives someone a chance and he always saves a life. And he never revels in a death. And I hadn't twigged it, and actually a lot of criticism, I would totally agree with it, that I hadn't, never crossed my mind. I think it was because, and this is my excuses, I was trying to work out what the hell was going on with all those old face, young face thing, and didn't realise it was kind of him regressing, rather than just blowing up. They spat him out as a one-celled organism and then hoovered him up. And yeah, that's what lots of people were really annoyed about. And actually, I will go with that. Don't often agree with right-wing YouTube, but they were right. He never laughs at people dying. So there we go. We missed that last week.
Yeah. So before we get into episode 2 and the fun of that, any news this week?
Ratings are in. Overnight ratings were Not good. I'm just looking at now 2 million overnight, and they haven't got the +7 yet, which is probably understandable because it's not technically a full week yet. But 2 million start, it's only going to go down, isn't it? Really, it'll spike at the end. I reckon it'll come back up to about 2 million at the end, because if they're going to tease a regeneration thing, and it'll leak. They'll probably will. It'll leak that he's going. That'll boost it at the end because people will be like, "Oh, what's going to happen with this?" So I think it'll come up to about 1.9 something towards the end, but it'll drop. Would it go below 1.5? Don't know. Is that quite a big drop? Oh, jeez, if it does. And they've been trying to spin it, haven't they? Again this week about the number of people between the ages of 18 and 24 who eat eggs for breakfast on a Saturday at 3:00. I've watched it, but no one else has. It gets quite painful each week to watch how the Radio Times tries to spin it. And
well, I did think when they said about the viewing figures, it was going to be viewing figures 2. It was Matt and Tim watched it. No other bugger did.
Oh, I feel sorry for it.
Don't worry, folks. We'll do it so you don't have to.
And we've talked about ratings to death, haven't we? And then it's not the be-all and end-all. We know that. But it's not good. Especially in a renewal season, it's not good. But I was thinking about this today, it'll be interesting to see if whoever it is, it'll be the BBC because it's not going to be Disney, renew it, what the justification is for renewing it. But if they don't renew it and put it on a pause, what's the reason for doing it? And if they mention ratings in either one of those categories, it'll be interesting to see what ratings they're talking about. Because if they can it, then it's pure overnight ratings they're interested in. If they don't can it, then it's this weird demo thing, 18 to 24-year-olds, etc., which they talk about. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what it is.
It's like we said before, TV is a new beast nowadays.
Definitely.
Back in our day, Christ, back when we were in our 20s, when it came back, oh God, that hurts me. Back in our 20s when it came back, it was all about the overnight and the week and the family demographic, and now it's streaming services exist. Because again, in Tennant's era, in Eccleston's era, it wasn't Netflix and co weren't as prevalent in my rote and spectacles. I believe that's true.
Yeah,
that's how facts work now, isn't it? If I believe something enough, it's true.
Yeah, if you shout about it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm being glib already in this episode, which is a great start. What else we got? It's WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, I was just going to talk about ratings. Hold that thought.
Oh, I'm holding it.
Last weekend was the final. I can't find it. The final of Gladiators, and that only got 2.5 million or something like that, which I was really surprised about. Actually, it was one of the most popular things to watch on a Saturday night, but that only got a really short amount of ratings as well. So
yeah. I think that's like we touched on. Is it the fact that viewing figures just aren't what they are anymore because streaming services exist and you can watch on catch up, and watching TV live isn't an event anymore?
No. Well, we didn't watch it live. We watched it kind of out of sync. And the same with Doctor Who. We just watch it when we feel like we want to watch it. Whereas the sort of the 6 o'clock time slot, 6 to 7, wherever it used to be, I can't remember. Is now gone. But yeah, it was interesting. I thought Gladiators would get more on the night than it did, but it was still one of the most popular things that was watched on BBC. So it's like 0.5 more.
Again, 20 years ago, I'd have to judge my evening, run home. I wasn't going to be in. I'd have to video it, and then watch it later. And you think, what? What is this madness? But I'm feeling myself decaying as I sit here. I've looked into the Ark of the Covenant and just melting. Yeah.
It's WrestleMania weekend as we speak.
Yeah. I need to find 10 minutes to watch that.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly confused with where everything is these days. So Hall of Fame's been on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've not started watching that. Oh no, I started watching it and then I need to whiz through bits of it. They're doing it back on stage, which looks good. I always liked it when it was on a stage, not in a ring, looking really weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should be interesting bits in that. And then we've got day 1 and day 2. You need to remember not to log on to social media tomorrow morning and Monday morning, so we can watch everything. Dear, I'm not as excited about it this year as I was last year.
No,
because I think it's dragged. I think because it's sort of late April, those extra couple of weeks have just kind of gone.
The build up has overbuilt.
Sick of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Predictions. I'm not going to go through every match. John Cena's going to win.
Of course he is.
Whether he gets an interference from The Rock, who knows? The Rock seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth since he did that thing. The 3-way Reigns, Punk, and Rollins is going to be interesting. I don't know where that's going to go. I can see Punk winning it. Is Jey Uso going to win? Who cares? That's just a waste. There are lots of good matches, but I think they're obviously the main ones.
Yeah, the hype started too early. We're now out of hype.
Yeah, it has dragged. It needs to have been a couple of weeks ago just to get it back.
Yeah, that's fair. So, shall we?
Let's get on with it. Let's get on with the hype train. Lux.
Yeah, Lux.
That's the kind of thing that you could see 10 sort of saying over and over again, couldn't you?
Yeah, Lux.
What do you think of it? There's lots to talk about, I think, in this one.
So it's definitely a show in 3 parts, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It peaked to a crescendo and then fell off a cliff.
Yeah. So I confess, I thought the opening, the start, the whole... He's a bit Scooby-Doo, actually, is Velma kind of thing. You go, oh, yeah, I could...
yeah, that was good. I liked it.
That felt older school, and yes, there's a mystery to go and solve. She was having none of it, and he goes, oh, come on, please, can we go?
Yeah, it was perfectly laid up where he was all set to go, and he's like, you could see he's itching, just like, oh, I just want to go and have a look. And I thought, yeah, that's really cool. I like the whole timey-wimey fishing rod idea about how they're going to bounce between different locations to get back to Earth. I thought it's really clever. And it explains
and the fact
how...
that's then set up the series, doesn't it? It's going, I'm going to go to a few places and hook this in.
I thought that was really clever. The whole, even up to the point, the animation was really cool. Obviously, that's where the budget's gone, hasn't it? In terms of the 2D animation, that was really well done. I thought the 50s vibe, even though it's only literally one set and a bit, was really cool. Nice colours. The whole thing again looks great because we know why it looks great. But no, the whole mystery thing was brilliantly laid out and creepy, and you just kind of go, this is really good.
And actually, like the fact they're in the 50s, and like the first time we referenced it was by glancing at his hand, and you go, yes, that's actually, this is the kind of nods to historical eras that you want. You don't want it hit on your head with it. But actually,
no, they didn't do it, did they?
And they built it up and built it up. So actually, it's a glance at the hand saying, "Oh, actually," and then the cafe saying, "Is it okay?"
Yeah.
And then the police officer in the
kind of
uniform
dream thing,
kind of being a bit more heavy, and actually, this is a potential problem here because it would be shoot first, ask questions, maybe never. So that for me all worked quite well.
Yeah, they handled that entire segregation thing really well. It was, like you say, very subtle for once with this version of Doctor Who. Really subtle. Didn't sledgehammer it, didn't hammer it home, didn't make a meal of it, just mentioned it, referenced it, and moved on. And that's how it should be. Just subtle references.
And again, it's explained to the companion that actually you count in this.
Yes, and she was referred to, wasn't she, from the police officers being from the Caribbean, and that was really, really well done as well. So it was
Yeah.
double whammy there. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that all built up quite nicely until we get to the you're inside a camera, and then I don't know why, but have I seen this before?
What the concept, the thing where they were animated
Yes.
was really good.
Yeah.
Then they kind of went 3D because they had depth. That was interesting. The
Yeah.
concept of having depth.
Yeah.
I like the way they did the film thing where they were they were kind of the physics of a film thing, and how they broke out at the end was very clever as well.
Yeah.
Jumping.
But no, the whole where they were in the film and pulling it, that feels familiar. I don't know why. It might just be collective memory,
Not
but
Doctor
I'm
Who,
sure
but it has
it's
been.
been done in something. I'm
Yeah,
sure
now
it
you've
has.
mentioned it, I can't think what,
Yeah.
but you're probably right. It has probably been done somewhere.
Mm.
Uh,
And then we take a sledgehammer to the. No.
yes, I was going to
Yeah.
say, yeah, we've skipped over Lux himself, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, and then we got the fourth wall reveal, and the moment I heard hashtag RIP Doctor Who,
R.I.P. Doctor
I
Who.
thought, oh God, please don't do what I think you're going to do. Thankfully, they didn't do it. I really thought he was going to have a pop at right-wing YouTubers, RIP Doctor Who. I really thought he was going to do it, but he didn't. And I thought, thank God, because that would have just been, oh God. Because I actually verbally went, oh my God. And my son went, what about? I said, don't ask us. It's not worth the effort. But thankfully they didn't do it. So that was a small mercy in what was a weird scene. I can understand what he was trying to do, but it confused it. It brought the momentum down because it built, didn't it? So they were trapped in a cartoon. They worked out how to get out of the cartoon. We had the policeman thing first, did we? Or was that second? No, that was second. Was that
No,
after? Was
policeman
that
thing
after?
was
Was it after the fourth
policeman thing was
wall
first.
before? Yeah, so they had the policeman thing.
Yeah.
And then they did the really clever thing where they were going to step out of the screen. And I was expecting to step
Yeah.
out of the screen back onto the stage. And then the momentum of the episode and the peril and everything else just dropped off a cliff.
Stopped. Yeah.
And it was just like, even my son noticed it and went, I had to physically stop it and explain to him what, because he gets the concept of fourth wall with Deadpool and stuff like that, but I had to explain the fact that they weren't real people, but the Doctor wasn't real, but they weren't real, and I had to explain it step by step what it all meant. So for him, at that point, his excitement didn't come back; it just dropped off as well. He's like he just wasn't engaged with it afterwards, because afterwards he's like, not really bothered with this now.
I thought it was quite interesting, the fact that they'd portrayed 3 typical fans.
Yeah, that's gonna piss people off as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And the fact that they started explaining and said, well, actually, you're a fictitious character and you're the companion and yada, yada, yada. And then it flips on its head and they go, well, actually, you're bit characters in an episode of a TV show. So you don't have surnames. And I thought that was quite an interesting concept. But you're right, the momentum just ground to a halt.
Yeah, and I think had it been that, if the mystery had been jumping, you didn't know. My son was watching the Dream Doctor episode with Matt Smith. Remember when they didn't know whether they were in the dream or not? If that had been that would have been copying the episode. But if that had been the whole concept of most of the episode, where you didn't know what was reality and what wasn't, and these people were in it again for longer, you could probably have more emotional connection with them. But the point when they're like, oh, we're going to die. So you've been in it for less than 5 minutes. I have no connection with you. I only remember Lizzie because he had it written on a mug. I couldn't remember the other two's names. Didn't. Maybe I'm just too cynical, but I have no connection with them. They're just 3 people in a scene. So yeah, it just, the whole momentum of that mystery and the kind of what's reality, what's not, was just dropped off, and it never came back after that. So yeah, that was, and in my head, imagine Deadpool walking into the living room, just shooting him in the head, just walking off, in a really weird fourth wall wink. All right,
Yeah. Yeah, all right,
just,
bang.
and that's how they die. You get the camera
Yeah.
pans around as they're walking off, and Deadpool just kills them in their living room and walks away. Or, and it got me again. Or that mid-season credits scene at the end where it shows them still alive. It doesn't. It just shows them dead, and there's Deadpool sitting there drinking out of a mug. That was my other thought.
Because again, did I imagine it, or as soon as they die and he stood back on the stage, the 15 tier.
Oh God!
I was
Yeah,
going, really,
yeah,
we did it again.
yeah.
Come on, behave.
It's the same eyeball every week, and it's already in
Yeah,
the.
the doctor
I've
that
seen it.
cries.
I've seen it in the trailer for the next one. Literally, it was in the
Excellent.
trailer for the next episode. It's like, oh, for God's sake, I'm just getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of it now. It's a trope, and it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, Lux, which we'll come to Lux in a minute, went weird and creepy in 3D, which I was expecting him to turn into a real person. It would have been really cool if it had turned into Alan Cumming, dressed in the suit and the weird tie and all the kind of thing, but as a human. But it kind of went into that weird Homer in 3D land thing from the 90s. And it was like, ooh. And then just went, okay, he's meant to be scary, but I would have been better if he turned into a human rather than just a 3D puppet thing. And then he let him into the light, and he kind of overloaded himself. That's how I perceived it. He became
he became one with the universe.
Disappeared. Lots of random stuff. Let's talk about Lux first, because there's other things.
Okay.
So immediately, near enough, we got the Harbinger thing and the noise thing from the god of music.
Yes.
And immediately it was like, no mystery. Lux is the god of light, which I thought, okay, they're not messing about here. Bang, straight in with it. Clever concept, the way I liked it. The moon bounced off the spoon, bounced off whatever it was on the wall, and it was just purely by chance that it happened. Didn't really understand why he'd trap those people in the film strip, though. Maybe I missed that bit. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, you just go, I've trapped you in a film strip, okay. And I've been in here for 3 months and have done nothing since.
Because I can't get out.
Yeah. So if the doctor hadn't interfered, that would have gone on forever.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. That one, the Harbinger thing, I thought was just related to the Harbingers of the God of Death.
Yeah.
And I got a bit confused because it moves so quickly, because I thought, well, is this character Harbinger for another god? Oh, no, he is a god. It's nitpicking a little bit there, I guess.
But that's as fans, that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
We just go, okay, you borrowed a bit from that and a bit from this.
Yeah.
And
just so people remember. The emotional connection with the film operator, there was loads of scope for that, and I felt it was wasted, because you had the concept of, and again, this is where, if it had been a more grounded episode or a bit longer, again, maybe like we said before, an hour instead of 45, they could have had the camera operator being manipulated like he was, but in more length. So obviously he wants to see his wife again, and Lux is manipulating him and using him to capture more people, to get souls, to get something, I don't know. But we didn't really have it. We just had him playing films to him and him manipulating for no reason. It felt like he was just trapped in the cinema with him. Didn't make any sense.
And when they're sort of saying, "Oh, he's trying to make him stronger," you go, "But how?"
Yeah,
you had a concept that wasn't for want of a better phrase, fleshed out.
Yeah, and
You just go. It was very 2D. Yeah.
and then
Thank
obviously
you. I'm here a week.
he died at the end, and you could see the emotional beat that they were trying to convey with him and his wife, and him dying to see his wife again. But because again, I had no emotional connection with him as a character, and he wasn't on screen for hardly any of it.
No.
The whole sacrifice thing was wasted because there was no emotion there. It was kind of loosely thrown in there, like, yeah, this will be really emotional, but I had no. He was just a dude.
Yeah. And then all the people trapped in the film come back, even though the film gets blown up in the fireball.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, there was lots of loose. It was nice, clever concepts, and it was building very nice. Fell off a wall, and then everything. It was just like splattered with ideas at the end to try and make it all work. I think if it'd been an hour, it would have been better with an hour. They could have done more with the projectionist. If they want to go do the fourth wall thing, they could have done that more weirdly timey-wimey mystery thing. But that would have been, I think, too complicated to squeeze all that in and do all the setup for it. So, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was better than last week's.
But yeah, but it's better than Space Babies.
No, anything's better than Space
Babies. That's the bar. Is it better than Space Babies? If the answer is yes, excellent.
It wasn't bad. So we're obviously going, as we all knew we were, this gods of the universe thing. I have a theory for you, because obviously Mrs. Flood was there again, wasn't she, at the end, popping around,
and she can do timey-wimey stuff.
I think she's the god of time, because we had the god of time, and you didn't watch it, in the end of the Flux. That's why it was in my head when I mentioned it. The god of time popped up at the end, because I had to, while I was waiting for you on the call, I was Googling it to remind myself. The god of time popped up at the end because the Flux were worshipping the god of time. Loads of rubbish in there, and we never saw it. Only manifested itself as the Doctor talking to herself at the end, very briefly. I think she's the god of time. That's my prediction. I don't know how, why, what it's all setting up for, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, she's going to be the big bad, isn't she? Or she's something important. We know this already.
Because there was, I didn't get into the detail. There's some book that was written where the gods of Gallifrey were time, pain, and death. Well, we've had the god of death. It's not going to be that. So we've got pain and death, pain and time. So pain might be one. Time, I think she's going to be god of time. That's my prediction.
What did you think to little, I've got some bi-generation energy left. I can heal my hand.
It's like bi-generation. And I'm just going to use it now.
To heal a burn. All right.
No. What do you think of her? She's not gone down the insufferable route. She's gone down the... It made me chuckle. In one episode, she now trusts him completely. It's like, I trust you at the end, didn't she? She said it. And it's like, because we thought last week she was maybe going to be a bit more edgy. No, I think she's gone down the other route of being more totally in for the ride, going to have a lot of fun kind of thing.
Yeah. Next week, I love you completely.
I've not seen the trailer for next week. The Well. I saw briefly the skip bit, but there's a full trailer out for it. I need to go and watch that.
I've been doing my best to not watch the trailers, so I have no idea what's coming. All I know is go, yep, I know some episode titles. We'll find out what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of anything else particularly. It was a nice concept, just fell down in that latter bit.
Marks out of 10.
What did we give last week? I can't remember. We didn't give one for last week.
We didn't. No.
We better do last week first.
Yeah.
And have 10.
4?
Yeah, I go with 4. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And today's one 6, I think.
Yeah, 6. So it's getting better.
Yeah, let down by that just nonsense mess at the end.
And the thing is, we also know that the 24th of May the penultimate episode,
Yeah,
is going to be 10 out of 10.
because it has to
And
be.
then
Yeah,
the
then it's going to fall off.
31st of May is going to be about 2, because they always are, because
Yeah.
RTT cannot write 2 parts saving life.
No, so we know it's going to peak at that point, and then it's just going to go,
and it's going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah, because that's the way he
Or
always does it.
he sticks a landing just the once, and they cancel it.
For the final.
And we go, yeah.
I was thinking about that.
He's got one last chance to get it right.
The last thing, actually, that will be broadcast is this spin-off Hooniverse thing that never happened. I keep getting it wrong, mustn't say something political. The war between the land and the sea, not what I always say, which was gets me in trouble.
Thing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's coming in the summer, supposedly. So that's going to be literally the last thing that's broadcast as part of Bad Wolf Hooniverse.
Is that recorded and actually definitely coming?
Yeah. They've got it in the can, definitely. But we've seen
will they Batgirl it?
Oh, will they can it completely? It's a good question, because I've seen no trailers, no images, no nothing for it. So are they just gonna get rid of it? Let me just have a look. Google it. Yeah, because the first look, 23rd of August, 2024. I wonder. Yeah, you never know. They might can it.
Yeah,
won't be surprised.
Well, if Doctor Who goes on a hiatus, then there is no value to showing a spin-off show.
Yeah.
If they announce on week 8 that actually the BBC have finished their deal with Disney and are going to bring it back in a couple of years as a BBC project, then there's value in doing the spin-offs to cover the time.
Unless it's part of the contract with Disney, because it says here that it's going to be out on Disney. They have to show it. But Disney could but Disney, like you said, could quite easily do a Batgirl and just not show it. So I wonder if it's going to go. So
the War of the Sea and the Stars, whatever it's called, will just be, the series will end with 14 coming back with a cup of tea and just go, get stuff, Sonic all out, all sorted. Yeah.
Or Russell Tovey will be announced as the Master, and that's how it'll end, with him escaping. And there we
go. I now know what the 4th Wall thing should have been. Just 14 walking with companies going, mind blank, see you later. Yeah, you ain't seen me.
Just looking a bit shifty. 14 dressed as Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh no, wrong show.
Yeah, 10 in a Deadpool outfit. I can see it now.
Yeah, I'll be really intrigued to see what happens with that. I think.
What, 10 in a Deadpool
outfit? No, we'll go back to the war between the land and the land and the sky, whatever it's called. Whether that actually, because in some ways that's the legacy, isn't it? It's like, what was the last thing Russell T Davies broadcast Doctor Who? That, as opposed to the last episode of that.
Yeah, and who knows? It depends if that is good. Unlike
it might well be. It might well be brilliant.
Yeah,
but I doubt
we might never see it. Who knows?
Yeah, it might never. It might live in development hell forever, mightn't it?
Yeah.
Or it might come out only on DVD. No, let's say on DVD, because it's like only on streaming, isn't it? It's not cinema. So of course it will come out on streaming. It'll be. Yeah.
It will never be aired on the BBC.
That'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So I think this week and last week have proved to me that I am here through dedication to the cause rather than actual enjoyment, and that to me is wholly depressing. We are doing it for doing it rather than for the enjoyment of it. And I don't like it.
Yeah, been there, done that. I've got past that now.
Yeah, but like I was saying, am I being critical of it because we're being critics?
Yeah, this
Yeah, is
one,
this a critic's curse?
this one, I could feel myself beginning to criticize it in my head, and I pulled back from it, and I consciously made an effort to only pick on the things that were obviously bad, like the fourth wall thing, because it ruined my enjoyment of it. Not regardless of whether the fact that I liked that or not is irrelevant. I thought, well, I will critique it based on my enjoyment of the episode, and that took me out of the episode too much. That it, regardless of why it was there, what it was there, hashtag RIP Doctor Who, whatever it is, it took me out of the story, and that for me was too much. It went on the list.
I've just had a thought. So the next Comic-Con, you're going to have fans cosplaying as fans of Doctor Who. There's going to be RIP T-shirts. There's going to be Lizzie mugs. Oh God! Oh God! It's all gone meta.
If this was 2010, 2011, I'd say yes. But I think that episode, cut by the summer, would have gone. People would have forgotten it. That's the thing. I think we're in that weird thing now where there's not enough groundswell of fan appreciation for people to cosplay even the Doctor, let alone anything else.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the really niche stuff is what you want. Well, like we said, the viewing figures for last week were 2. It was me and you, so we both count as a million, right?
All
the devices we use. Yeah, my TV, my laptop, my phone.
God.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, no, I think it went far too meta.
Yeah. Well, on the plus side, this episode hasn't got Donald Trump as a doctor or Nigel Farage as the brigadier. I hate you so much.
I was sending
And
him AI images of Donald Trump. They look quite good, didn't they? He had the bow tie on.
Shut up. Shut up, Tim. And at least I'm not sat at my laptop just crying in a semi-depressed state this week.
No,
so
there was positivity.
I count as a win. Yeah. I think I found some positive moments.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the scale of positive and negative, there was enough positive that kept it a good experience.
And it wasn't Space Babies.
It wasn't Space Babies. Space Babies.
I hate that so much still. That is my bar. That is my, if it hits this, if it, in case of emergency, make this reference kind of thing.
Space Babies, Love and Monsters. Which one's worse?
Oh, I hate you.
Peter Kay with a face on his arse, or Space Babies? I'd probably say Love and Monsters was worse. And I'll tell you why.
I agree with you.
Because they had Mark Warren in it, who is a brilliant actor, and they wasted him on that episode. They wasted him. And that still annoys me to this day.
Just wasting good actors, usually.
Yeah, I think that's the thing of the modern Doctor Who is wasting. I'm trying to think of more now. Really good actors in. What's her face? Who's Queen Elizabeth? Who's in everything? Broadchurch woman who was the detective in Broadchurch with Tennant. Oh God, what's her name?
Olivia Colman.
Yeah, she was in. If you remember, she was in the first episode with Matt Smith as the random woman that the prisoner had taken over. Wasted. Who else has been wasted in it? Oh, I should know. There's been plenty of actors and actresses.
There's so many
that you just go, oh, that have just kind of had guest appearances, and you just go, no. Simon Pegg, but that was before Doctor Who was really famous, so you could argue maybe not. Wasted. There's probably others.
It is that moment of there are so many that actually.
Oh, Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield. Wasted.
Yeah.
Well, he was an up and coming. No, I'm making excuses for it. Wasted.
Yeah. Pierce Brosnan.
Was he in it?
Wasn't Timothy Dalton.
No, it's Timothy Dalton.
They're the same person.
They just regenerated.
Yeah.
No, Timothy Dalton was all right. It did go through my head, and I thought, no, actually, he served a purpose, and his purpose was valid.
Yeah, fair. But him and Pierce Brosnan are the same person. I don't care what anyone says. I've never seen them in a room together.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna have to go away and think about that for next time. What other wasted guest stars that you could have done some really cool stuff, but were in really awful episodes? Yeah, there's some homework.
Yes. So rather than beating a can series,
around the bush, it'll be the well next week. Well. We can do some well puns.
Oh yes. We can have well. Yes, looking forward to it already. Well,
we've had 2D puns and 3D puns, and now we're doing well puns.
Yeah, fantastic. So, rather than on that note, we may as well call it a day, a night, an ending.
Until next week in episode 3.
Oh yes. Yeah, we do it all again. Yeah. See you next time.
Cheerio.